All right, good morning, everybody. So, welcome to our power yoga core hands focused class. If you want music, go ahead and grab it, set that up really quick. And we'll give it a couple seconds for you to get going, or get your stuff, and then we'll get going. So, you don't really need any props or blocks or anything like that, just yourself. All right. Let's go ahead and get started on our backs. All right, so let's start in a little bit more relaxed position before we get right into it. So let's just go ahead and start with those knees bent, feet a little bit wider, knees touching. Go ahead and close down those eyes, resting one hand on the stomach, one hand rests on the chest. And then just breathe in and out through your nose. Feeling that rise of the belly, of the chest on that inhale, and then exhaling it out. Do one more big breath like that. And exhale it out. Close down the mouth again. We'll take that big breath in through the nose. And exhaling that breath out through the nose. So we're going to flex the abs to press all that air out. We're going to keep that core nice and tight on that inhale. So big expansion through that rib cage. And exhaling it out. So when we're expanding through that rib cage, we still want to keep those abs nice and tight. Another thing that you can do is really focus on pressing that low back into the mat. That helps to kind of brace through the core too. So it's not necessarily pulling that belly button down to the spine and sucking in. It's more about pressing that spine down and pressing almost out, okay, with that core nice and tight. Now from there, just go ahead and hug those knees into the chest. You can give it a little rock from side to side. And now we'll bring those arms out to a T. Just lift those knees up so they're stacked right over the hips. Shins are parallel to the ground. We're going to bring those knees over to the right. So we're not going to drop them down. We're going to hover them. So start to use that core. Bring it back to center. Drop the knees over to that left side. Bring it back to center. We'll go over to the right and center. To the left and center. Let's go one more time each way. Over to the right. Back to center. To the left. Good, back to center. Now we're gonna hug that right knee in. Okay, so crunching up a little bit. Then we're gonna extend that left leg out. Okay, so not yanking that head forward. Try to lift up through the shoulders, looking straight up towards the ceiling. Okay, now go ahead and just switch sides. Hug that left knee in as that right leg extends out. Now, you can't see my foot, but my heel is just hovering right above the ground. And then switch. So right knee in, left leg out, and switch. And switch, and switch. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go and hug those knees in. Give it a little rock from side to side. And let's go ahead and just plant those feet down. So we really got to press into our feet, our heels, our toes, the balls of the feet. And then we're going to bridge those hips up. So keep that core nice and tight, really squeezing those glutes, pressing into those heels and the toes, and then pulling back. Think about pulling your heels back towards your glutes. You'll feel a little bit more activation through those hamstrings, the backs of the legs. You're lifting a little bit higher. And slowly roll it down and just pee out those arms. Feet will stay down and then just drop the knees over to the right side, center, to the left, center, right, center, left, center. One more time each way, over to the right and center, to the left and center. Okay, now bring the hands on the back of the head. Go ahead and lift those knees up. Okay. Now shins are parallel to the ground. We're going to extend that left leg down. So again, it's just going to hover like we did a little bit earlier, but instead of just grabbing onto that knee and pulling straight up, we're going to twist. So the left elbow is going to come across that right knee. Bring it to center. And then we'll switch to the other side. So extend the right leg out, twisting it to the left and center, over to the right, center, to the left, center. Here we go, 10, 9, and lift those shoulders, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it to center. Lower that head down, plant those feet, and then we'll bridge those hips up. Good, then we'll roll it back down, hugging those knees in. Let's rock forward and back. Let's go ahead and come all the way up to a downward facing dog. So go and lift those hips up to the ceiling. Slight bend in those knees, really pressing that tailbone up towards the ceiling as we press those heels down towards the mat. Really gripping those fingertips, those palms into the mat. So evenly distributing that weight. One more breath. And then we'll come onto the toes. Bend into those knees, stepping those feet to the top of the mat. Inhaling that half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we'll rise to standing. Interlacing those fingers, side bend it to the right. Inhale, back up. Exhale it to the left. Inhale it back up. And exhale, flat back as we fold. So we're going to add a little twist to this. Nice flat back, bending into that right knee as we twist. The left arm reaches up and down to the other side. Twist and reach that arm up. Good, now lower those hands down. Plant the hands as we step those feet back into a plank. We're gonna drop those heels over to that left side. Right arm reaches up. Now if you need to modify, go ahead and just lower that bottom shin down, so that left shin down towards the ground. Okay, now we're gonna take that right hand, thread it underneath just one time. Big reach back, and then we'll reach that arm up. Lower the hands down. Let's go to the other side, dropping the heels over to that right side. Left arm reaches up. Thread that arm under. Inhale it back up. And lower that hand down, shifting that weight forward. So again, this can be done kneeling. As we lower down into that push-up position, maybe you stop in that low plank. So it's hard to tell, but my shirt is, but my belly is not touching the ground. Point those toes and then lift that chest up into that cobra, or maybe press it all the way up into that upward facing dog. And then on that exhale, sending those hips up and back into that down dog. And now inhale on the toes. Bend those knees, step or hop those feet, top of the mat. Inhale the half lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, we'll rise. Interlace those fingers. We're going to bend it over to that right side. Back up and to the left. And bring it back up. And then release those hands as we fold. Flat back, bending into that left knee. Right arm, excuse me, your right knee. Left arm is reaching up. And lower. To the other side, twist and reach. And lower the hands down. Plant them. Step it on back. Again, we'll drop those heels to the left. Right arm reaches up. Thread it under. Send it back up. Lower the hand down. Go to the other side. Heels to the right. Left arm is reaching up. Thread that arm through. Bring it back up. Lower the hands down. Shifting that weight forward as we lower. Flipping the toes. Lift that chest up. And then exhale. Send those hips up and back. Downward facing dog. And then come onto the toes. Bend those knees, step those feet, top of the mat. Inhaling the half lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, we'll rise. And exhale, bend it to the right. Inhale it back up. Exhale it to the left. Inhale it back up. And exhale, we'll fold. Flat back on that inhale, twisting, reaching that left arm up to the sky. Exhale it down. To the other side, flatten out that back, reaching that right arm up. And lower the hands down, plant the hands, step it back. Side plank over to the heels to the left, right arm up. Twist and back up and lower that hand. Let's go to the other side. Drop the left, or the heels to the right. Left arm up, twist, bring it back up and lower the hands down. Shift it forward as we move through that vinyasa. And then exhaling those hips up and back, down dog. Another breath. Now bring those feet a little closer together so those toes are touching. We're gonna inhale that right leg up to the sky. We're gonna bring that right knee towards that right elbow. Touch, squeezing that knee up as high as you can get it on that tricep. Inhale it back up. Exhaling that knee across towards that left elbow. Squeeze, inhale it back up. And exhale, curl that knee to the nose. Pause it here in that plank. Squeeze that knee or squeeze that thigh up to the chest. And then stepping that foot through, nice and light. Back heel is gonna stay lifted as we inhale those arms up overhead. Rib cage down, bend into that front knee, nice and tight through that core. Now we're gonna hover that chest, reach the arms back. We did this the other day, so if you joined us earlier, this is a little bit of a repeat. Inhaling the arms up, and exhale, hover. So you repeat, so you can practice. The more we practice, the better that we get working through that balance, reaching through those fingers, core is tight. Now one time hugging that knee into the chest, send it right back out. Now the hands can be on the ground, or if you have a wall next to you, you can use that wall to help you balance. Let's do it 2 more times. Curl it in, send it back out. Last time, curl it in, reach it back out, and then lower that knee, the foot down, reaching the arms up, and then lower the hands down. You can send that leg back, keeping it lifted as we move through that vinyasa. And exhale, hips back up, downward facing dog. Feet together, inhaling, that left leg lifts. Bring that left knee to the left elbow. Squeeze that knee up high on the tricep. Inhale it back up. Exhaling that knee across. Inhale it back up. Curl that knee to the nose, pause, and step that foot through. Back heel is gonna stay lifted as we reach those arms up into that high crescent lunge. Sink into that front knee a little more. And exhale, hover the chest, reaching those arms back. Inhaling it back up. And exhale, we'll hover that chest. Let's float that back leg up, squaring off through those hips. So we don't want that hip opening up. We want to rotate that right outer hip down. Press through that back heel, reach through those fingers. Now curl that knee into the chest. Press it back out. Curl it in. Press it out. Last time, curl the knee in. Press it back out. Now take that big step back. So come back to that lunge. And then lower the hands down, sending that leg back to our 3-legged plank. Lower. Inhale, lift up dog. And exhale those hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Okay, now bring those feet together. Inhale, that right leg lifts. Curl that right knee towards that right tricep. Inhale it back up. Exhaling it across. Inhale, reach it up. And exhale that knee to the nose. Step that foot through. Back heel is lifted. Inhaling those arms up. Exhale, hover the chest. Reach the arms back. Inhale it up. And exhale, hover the chest. Lifting that back leg up. Now we'll 3 times. Curl that knee in. Send it back out. And curl. Reach it out. Last time, curl it in. Extend it back out. Now we'll ground that back heel down. So we're gonna come into that warrior 2 stance. Bend into that front knee, reaching those arms out. Sink into that front knee. Core is nice and tight. Now we'll lower that forearm down as we sweep that left arm over. So really, really light on this forearm. Okay, maybe even sliding that hand down towards the inside of that foot. Rotating that chest open, keep reaching with that left arm. Then inhale, we'll rise back up, straighten that front leg, reverse it, reaching that arm up and back. And then tee out the arms, rebend. Lower that arm down as we reach that left arm up over our head. Inhale, bring it back up, reverse it. So 1 more time. Warrior 2 into that extended side angle. Inhale, reversing that triangle. And then we'll circle those arms all the way down to the mat. Step it back into plank or 3-legged plank for that challenge. Lift. And exhaling those hips up, down dog. Bring those feet together. Inhale, that left leg lifts. Bring that left knee to that left elbow. Inhale, send it back up. Exhale it across. Inhale, reach it up. And exhale, curl that knee to the nose. Stepping that foot through. Back heel is lifted. Inhaling those arms up. And exhale, hover. Inhale, reach it up. But exhale, hover, lifting that back leg up. Curl it in. Send it back out. And curl. Press it back out. Last time, curl it in. Press it back out. Big step back. And then we'll ground that back heel down, coming into warrior two stance. Okay, so those right toes are putting towards, I'm out of breath, the long edge of the mat. Good, bend into that knee. Reach through those fingers. We're gonna lower that left forearm down as we reach that right arm up and over, so we can slide that hand down, maybe grabbing onto that ankle. Then inhale, we're gonna rise back up, straighten that front leg, flip that palm, reach it up and back. So big side stretch through that left side. Good, now reach the up arms, bend into that front knee as we move into that extended side angle. Inhale, rise back up, reverse. Last time through, tee out those arms. Reaching that right arm forward. So again, not a lot of weight in this left arm. And inhale, reaching it back up, reverse. Then we'll circle those arms all the way down. Send it back to our plank as we lower. Inhale, lift. And exhaling those hips up and back. Downward facing dog. If you need a minute, maybe it's more gonna be like a couple seconds. Come back into our child's pose. Take a little breather, coming down that breath. And then we're gonna go through a little bit more core. Good, now come up onto those hands and knees. Go and step it back to a plank. So again, this could be on the toes or this could be on the knees. All of this can be done either on the toes or on the knees. Now, we're gonna drop the heels over to that left side. Right arm reaches up. So again, this will be done. This is the shin down is the kneeling option. So if you even wanna start on the toes or on the feet and then go down to kneeling, that's fine. Okay, so we have 5 of these, those little twists, reaching that arm back. Inhaling it up. Exhale, thread it under. Reach it back up. Reach it through and up. 2 more, thread it under. Send it back up. Last one, thread and back up. And then lower that hand down, dropping those heels over to the right side. Left arm reaches up. And thread that arm through. Inhale it back up. Good, reach it through. Back up. And thread. Bring it back up. 2 more. Reach that arm under. Send it back up. And thread. And reach it up. Good. Lower the hand down to that front plank. Hold it. Breathe. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Sending those hips up and back. Downward facing dog. And now come back into that plank. So we're going to drop those heels over to that left side. Okay, we're going to bring our right hand to our head. Okay, if you need to lower that shin down, you can, or if you really want that challenge, this is kind of a big one. So you might kind of modify if need to, but try and challenge yourself here. So I'm going to do my feet stacked. Okay, we're going to crunch, bringing that knee to that elbow and send it back. Good, so that's 1. We got 4 more. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Crunch. Back to our plank. Good. Go to the other side. Drop that right hand down. Drop those heels to the left. And finding that modification, we'll bring that left hand to our head. And then here we go. Pulling that left knee to the elbow. So we got 1, 2, 3. Find that balance. 4, and 5. Good. Hold that side plank. Now, lower both hands down. We're going to come back to the front. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and lower it all the way down onto your stomach. You come onto those elbows. So we're going to come into that Sphinx pose. So pulling those elbows back as we lift up through the crown of the head, tucking that chin slightly, just stretching out through those abs, releasing that low back. One more breath. Good. Bring those hands underneath the shoulders. You can bring those knees a little bit closer together. And we're just going to press it straight back into that child's pose. Now, going with the knees closer together, you get a little bit more rounding through that low back because we just did that big back extension. So just counterbalancing that stretch, making sure that spine is mobile in all directions. We want that spine to be mobile, but we also want that core to be nice and strong to help to support that mobility, keeping everything safe, everything healthy. Then go ahead and slide those elbows back to the knees. We want those forearms touching, we want those knees touching. And now we're gonna bring that right hand to our tailbone. Take that big breath in, look over that shoulder as we twist, gazing up over that right shoulder. And inhale it back down. Again, open up, twist. Inhale it down. Last time, open up, twist. And bring it back down, go to the other side. Hooking that right elbow to that right thigh. Left hand is gonna come behind the back. Take that big breath in and look over that shoulders. Rotate, open up. So big opening through that thoracic spine. So that's the area where those shoulder blades are. And bring it back down. So a lot of tightness in this area causes a lot of pain through that upper back, the shoulders, the neck. And open up, twist. And down. Last time, open up, twist. Good, bring it back down. Go ahead and come back up onto the hands and knees. One last little stretch here through the spine. So cat cows, inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest, lift the tailbone as you look up. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift and lengthen. And round. Good, inhale, lift. And round. Last time, inhale, lift. And round. Good, bring it to neutral. Let's go ahead and come to a seat. Let's just close this off with a few breaths. So you can just go ahead and relax those hands on the knees, sitting tall, rolling those shoulders down and back. So really lift it up through the chest. Eyes are closed, or you can maybe just have a soft gaze down towards the ground. So we're going to focus on that breath. We're trying to slow down that breath. Trying to relax and calm that heart rate back down. And blinking these eyes open. Thank you guys so much for joining me this morning. Have a great rest of your day, great rest of your week. And we'll see you guys back here on Saturday at 9:30, not 9. I got it confused last week. It is 9:30.